All rise who are able for the Morris Miracle Prayer. Allah the Father of the universe.
Allah the Father of the universe.
Father love.
Father love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Through Ali. Amen. Please remain standing, all those who are able, for the more chance and unison. First shall rise, give praise to Allah, the great God of the universe. I give honor to his holy and divine prophet, Prophet Noble Juali. I give honor to all true and divine prophets of Allah. Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, etc. I give honor to Marcus Garvey, forerunner Prophet Noble Juali. I give honor to the American flag, the flag of our birth, and to the Moorish flag, our decent flag, the red flag, the 5-pointed green star in the center, the 5 points representing the divine principles, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I give honor to our divine charter, which gives us the divine and legal right to practice and promote our religion. Unmolested. I give honor to all past Supreme Grand Advisors and moderators of the Moorish Science of America Incorporated, Brother C. Kirkman Bay, Brother F. Nelson Bay, and Brother J. Blakely Bay. I give honor to Brother R. Loveville, our past former Grand Sheik and moderator. I give honor to Brother R. Jones Bay, our present Grand Sheik and moderator. The Moorish Science of America. I give honor to the Assistant Grand Sheik, Brother A. Hopkins Bay. I give honor to the Grand National Chairman, who's also the Grand Sheik, here at Temple 71, Washington, D.C., Brother P. Chasehill. I give honor to all national officials in their office and station. I give honor to all state officials and their assistants. Give honor to Brother H. Harris Bay, Grand Governor of Washington, D.C., and to his assistant, Sister D. Jones Bay. I give honor to all local officials in their office and station, all auxiliaries, and all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated. I give honor to all our viewers and all of those who are listening in. I give honor to our class. Peace. I'll now read Salvation, Our God, Unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws, Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs. If he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly, according to the Circle 7, and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father, God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep it light. Pardon me. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being in Moorish America, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now. All men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God Allah, Noble Drew Ali founder. Moorish America prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. The Moorish Science Temple of America. Mailing address. MST of A Incorporated, P.O. Box 20768, Greenville, Maryland. Thus we had a reading from all 7 acts, divine constitution and bylaws. I'll now read questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 1. Grand sheikhs and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses. Each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali before acting upon by any members. Let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. Act 2. All members are to attend their ad-hoc meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If a member is working, his monthly dues must be paid, and if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance, and if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Wait a minute. Act 2. All members are to attend their ADAP meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people. And justice must catch you. Pardon. Act 2. All members must promptly attend their meetings. All members must promptly attend their ADAP meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If the member is working, his monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift a nation. Praise be God. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch him. Let it be he or she according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Let it be he or she. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire, and let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians. Because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sins, from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwest and the southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faith. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband, take care of your children, and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious, and become part of the uplifting of all humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love, and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God of peace. Praise be God. Thus we had a reading from all 7 acts, questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans. I'll now read from the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guiding of his Father God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from the sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his Father, God Allah. Page 36, the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. Chapter 26, Holy Instructions of Unity. The gifts of the understanding are the treasures of Allah, and he appointed to every one his portion in what measure seemeth good unto himself. Hath he endowed thee with wisdom? Hath he enlightened thy mind with the knowledge of truth? Communicated to the ignorant for their instruction, communicated to the wise for thine own improvement. True wisdom is less presuming than folly. The wise man doubted often and changed his mind. The fool is obstinate and doubteth not. He knoweth all things but his own ignorance. Peace. Thus we've had a reading from the Holy Koran and the Moorish Science Temple of America. Our Sunday school is officially open. If there's anyone in the hallway or downstairs, please let them come up and come in at this time. At this time, Islam. At this time, I'll call for our Grand Sheikh and Moderator, Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated, our brother, man, and friend, Brother R. Jones Bay. Islam, Brother A.G.
Islam.
Islam.
Allah,
The universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen.
Okay, let's go into the questionnaire.
Allah,
Who is Allah?
Allah is the Father of the universe.
Can we see it?
No,
Where's the nearest place we can meet it?
in the heart.
Who is Noble Drew Ali?
He is Allah's prophet.
How do you view your prophet? Or how do you view? I won't say how do you view your prophet because he may not be your prophet. How do you view Noble Drew Ali? What is your view of Noble Drew Ali? That's the question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your view of Noble Drew Ali? Yes.
Islam, or I would say the same view he had on me.
What is your view of Prophet Noble Drew Ali? Come on, Brooke Kennard, man.
Islam. I view the Holy Prophet Noble Ali as a divine messenger sent from God, Allah, to help me to be redeemed from my sinful ways and to help me to return back to the state of mind of my forefathers, ancient and divine creed.
Okay, okay. How do you view him? How do you view Prophet Noble? Come on, can I, Catalyst, man.
There is not. I view Prophet Noble Ali as a pattern and a guide for me to lead me back to salvation, to be back one with Allah.
Okay, okay. Yes, sir. Oh, Sister Delia?
Islam, I will say I view him as a guide for me to improve myself and to teach me more about how to deal with the two selves I got within.
Okay, that's good. Okay, okay. Brother Morris, man.
Islam, I view the prophet as a savior
Okay,
for persons, a savior for people that look for savior of all humanity.
okay, okay. Come on, Brother Alexander, man.
Islam, praise Allah, I view him as being a prophet, a universal prophet, just like everybody else said, of humanity, not just the North America, but to us. He's an angel of Allah who was sent to bring us the everlasting gospel of Allah through our ancient fathers by his prophet.
Okay, all right. What does it mean? Come on.
Islam. I view the prophet as love made way by purity.
Okay. All right. Come on, Brother James.
Pattern.
Pattern, okay. Okay, all right, okay. Come on, Brother Perry, man.
He's a divinely prepared messenger who was sent in due time to bring the Moabites back to their original religion.
Okay, all right. Okay. Come on, Brother Smith.
I view the prophet to be as a guiding light.
A guiding light. Okay. All right. Now, saying what you've all have said, then what does it mean when he says to us to imitate him? Because you're imitating this divine person. I mean, what does it mean? It's saying imitate him. How you see him is going to register with you if it's even feasible that you can imitate him. How you look at him. See, if you look at him in a way that you have you put a lot of emphasis on his divinity, you may not see it possible for you to imitate something that's divine. That's why the question is, how do you view him? Do you view him as a man? Because that's what he is. He's a man, just like us. The difference with him is he has a divine purpose. And he was divinely prepared for this purpose. Because if we can't see him, whereas we can relate to him, how can we imitate him? I mean, how can you imitate something that is so far beyond your ability to see how you can even reach that particular point? So what does it mean when he says, imitate I, your prophet? What does it really mean? Come on, let me read from sisters. You sister Shinglia. I might get you The question is, how do you see it? How do you see yourself imitating? Can you, how can you, you're a sister. We got sisters. Now the sisters are also told to imitate the prophet. So how do you see that from the sisterly point of view of imitating?
Well, like most, excuse me, Islam, like most of the Lord stated, the pattern part.
Right.
And as you being a messenger,
Okay.
you say, how would I?
Yeah, no, just look, think about it in this way, if you don't mind. Identify a part of him that you see yourself being able to do. See something in him that you see yourself being able to do. Because you can only comprehend what you can see him doing that has that you can relate to.
Well, something I'm trying to think of one.
Okay. Think one.
Well, I'm still working on a lot of stuff, so
Well, give me one thing that you might be working on.
I'm trying to be consistent.
Okay, say that so I can hear you, so we can hear you.
I'm trying to be consistent in it. I can be.
Okay, okay, all right. Now remember something. You've got to see a part that you feel you can do. And then you gotta put forth an effort to try to do it. He's not telling us to imitate him because it's impossible to do.
That's right.
He's telling us to imitate him because he is a what? A pattern. You must see yourself imitating that pattern. It's got to be something that I see him doing that I feel comfortable that I can do. Come on, Mom.
Praise the Lord, Prophet J. Tom Miller for the record. I can do as far as helping someone.
Okay,
Like the prophet came to help us,
okay,
to redeem us.
okay.
Please.
Okay. Come on, sis.
I think one of the things I try to imitate is judgment. How I judge others along with how I judge myself. Right? And thinking about it before I make a judgment.
Okay. Judging. That's the part that got me moving. Judge.
I say working on it.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're working on judging.
Yeah.
You know, even working on being a person to judge someone else.
And to judge myself too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
I don't know if we want to use the word judgment. Not being, you know, that's something that we got to look up.
Okay.
Okay, that's all. But I hear what you're saying, you know. But it may be a better word that we can use that may be a little more descriptive of what we're saying. See, because, you know, I've always been taught that Allah is the one who judges.
Right.
So I want to, maybe we want to use the word
Understanding.
or assessment or something
Right.
like that. But maybe kind of stay away from judgment.
But say if I'm using understanding, it keeps me from making judgments.
Well, that's better.
Can I say that?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah. No, my brother. Bro, what's your name?
Thing was great.
Yes, sir.
To me, the prophet was kind and humble.
That's good. Kind and what?
Humble.
Humble. So can you see yourself being kind and humble?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I'm trying to go. Come on, Brother Moyle.
Yes, as for me, Papa taught me to learn how to love all of humanity, not to use profanity, not even the mildest form. And also, I know that I have all power in heaven and earth in me, so I can create whoever I want to in life. You know, because I got the power, but you got to use that power in the right, you know, to do right.
All right. Well, tell me something that you see yourself doing that can be associated with imitating the prophet.
I treat everybody with love and respect. Everybody.
Okay. Come on.
In your action, your word, and your deeds. In the 3 ways that he said imitate him.
Come on, bro, Perman, man.
You know, I'm working on perseverance.
That's what I'm talking about.
See what I'm saying? Because
See, that's what I'm talking about. Can you hold it? Just stick a pin. Just for a minute. Look, the conversation is geared towards what do you see yourself being able to do in imitating the prophet. Is that understood?
Yes.
See, you got to see yourself what? Doing it. And it's something that you just don't do every now and then. It's something that you probably try to become what? consistent at doing it. And don't seek after impossibilities. Be content with the good that's in your reach. No, don't try to go all out there and out there. We ain't out there. We're here. And the question is, can we grab hold of something that I can actually do? Because if you do that, then certain other things will be revealed to you that you won't see until you do it. See, we're going to go beyond being a talker. We want to go beyond that. We want to go beyond that. We want to become a what? Walker. Because that's imitating. Who's saying that? I said, come on.
He was still.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, brother. Take the pen out. Come on. Come on.
You know what? I said perseverance because the prophet said he has suffered much.
Yes.
So the trials and the tribulations that the prophet suffered, I know I got to go through the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, you know, because this life journey is not an easy journey.
Yeah.
You know, so you're gonna have to take something.
Yeah.
You know, and to persevere.
Yeah.
That means that you looking at it, and you know you're gonna have to wrestle with it.
Right. Right.
And at the same time, you got the hope to overcome it.
Right.
You know.
Right. 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 That's right. That's right. I saw you were more respect. I got you.
I was thinking about forbearance, forbearance is more level.
Okay. The forbearance. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Yeah. But you know, the forbear, that is taking something. You know, that is taking something. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, Brother Bunchgrave.
It's more having good thoughts, more, you know,
Okay.
owning good thoughts. Just like when you come in and eat a piece of candy and you take the paper loose.
Right.
Your thoughts right there, whether I should throw it on the ground
Right.
or should I be responsible and take it to the trash.
Praise the Lord.
All that walking in the woods. That's good, though.
That's right.
That's good, though. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Will that have anything to do with your strengths and your weaknesses? Like, I'm not strong at doing this, but I'm strong at doing that. So I'm gonna do what's strong for me, or do I work on my weaknesses, what I can do or what I will try to do?
It's like he said. First of all, let's identify something. Some weaknesses we can't address right now because some weaknesses are so strong. That's like seeking after impossibility. We have to identify what we can do, and we work our way up. See, if you address something that you can do, when you do it, you will develop the confidence that you need to tackle something else. So if you get what I can do this. See, the whole key is to get confidence in your willpower. You have to get confidence that you can, your will is strong enough to accomplish what you set out to do. And that can only be done by what you address and you overcome, or you make it a part of what? Head and heart. That's enlightenment to the prophet. Because see, if you address, I tell you what I found out. When you identify something that you can do and you go to it in earnest, you receive instruction from the prophet of how to do it. If you are earnestly attempting to do it. If you're truly trying to be kind, you'll hear some of the inner workings or the inner secrets of being kind. If you're really trying to not cuss or not use profanity, you'll hear some of the inner ways of being able to not use profanity. And why not to use it?
It's, praise the Lord, honor the prophet. And it's along the line of like, say, setting or making goals and accomplishing them. You don't want to set goals too high for yourself.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
And I hear what you're saying, you like tackle the little goals
right.
as you go and accomplish them, and that builds up your confidence to set a more higher goal, yeah.
That's why he tells us, be content with the good that is what?
In your reach.
That, and being in your reach means what? Attainable.
Right.
Attainable. I can't walk on water right now. It's not attainable. It's not that I can't do it, it's just that it's not attainable for me right now. My willpower is not strong enough to give me that, what I need to do that. But what can I do? I can say thank you when somebody do me a favor.
Right.
I can practice being polite.
At least you can float on water at the moment.
I don't even know if I can float. You know, because fear hurt me. You know, but you know, you think about what you can do. What can I really do to show I'm imitating the Bible? You know, come on, Brother Harris.
It's not really. There's one thing that I try to do when the prophet said, when I tell you I've done something, I've already done it.
Yeah, that's good.
I try to make sure that before I give somebody my word that I'm gonna do something that is least in progress.
That's right, Mo.
Praise God.
That's it, Mo.
Praise God.
That's what we talk about.
Mhm.
That's not something that's way out there.
Right.
Yes.
You see?
See, some of us sometimes, we go so beyond what we can really do and we don't accomplish it, then we don't develop the knowing that it can be done, so now you lose confidence. Come on.
Praise God, daytime meal for the record. I experienced something this morning. A brother was standing outside the store, and I always see the brother. I gave him something this morning, some money, and then when I walked to the counter, this other guy paid for everything I had.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, doing a kind act. I wasn't looking for nothing. I wasn't expecting that.
Right, right,
But just doing a kind act.
right.
You know, Allah see it and know your heart. You know, Father, open the door for a brother, open the door for a sister. You know,
Right,
just doing a kind act. Learning how to love and say, hey,
right, 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 right. Because remember, our instructions from the prophet. That's why I asked you earlier, you know, I asked you, how do you view the prophet? Then I had to come back and retrace my statement and say, how do you view noble duality? Because see, you may not see him as a prophet. You really may not see the prophet as a prophet. You think just because you come in here and you sit down and we go over the questionnaire and the divine constitutional bylaws and we talk about literature, that gives you the assurance that you see the prophet as a prophet? That's not right. You won't see the prophet until you do what? Imitate him. When you imitate him, now you're going to do what?
Start acting as he
Say, be what you know. So now you know certain things about the prophet. But if you're not imitating him, how do you know? You can't take for granted that you know Prophet Noble and accept him. You start knowing that when you start renewing your acts
and in many ways.
Yes.
Can I just add to that?
Yes.
Because when you said that, it made me think about myself when I first heard about the Moisés Temple of America. When I first joined a temple, and then when I joined Temple 71. I agree with everything you've said about when and how we know the prophet, but especially the part you said about first, before we know him, we have to accept him. Coming from the background, the situation that I was in, it was also a matter of removing the ideas and the understanding of who the prophet was before I could even accept him. Because when I came into the Moorish Science Temple of America, I came into a place where someone was trying to say they were the prophet. They weren't the prophet, but they were saying they were the prophet. And that's what I was introduced, that's how I was introduced to the Moorish Science Temple of America, as believing this false person, because I don't want to say imitator, because we're talking about imitating the prophets, right? But this person pretending to be the prophet is who I was introduced to as the prophet, and who I was trying to follow instructions from. So when I found out that no, that person ain't who they saying they are, I was extremely skeptical. Well, yeah, okay, they just told me he was the prophet. Now you telling me this person is the prophet. All right, well, we'll see which one, if any of them, are the prophet. So as I began to study and watch the people around me and listen and ask for Allah's guidance in it, he put me in an environment and around people where I could begin to see for myself, where I could begin to think for myself, and not from what somebody else was telling me to think, but where I could begin to think for myself and put things together. And as I began to put things together, then what the brother is talking about, getting to know the prophet, that a window was open for me to allow that to happen. But I just, it's just important for me to say that part, because it wasn't about me, renewing my acts and amending my ways at that particular time. It was about me not accepting someone else's teachings and learning to think for myself and not be so naive and gullible as to think, well, because you told me, I'm going to believe it, because you have no reason to lie to me. You looking out for my benefit.
Right.
But that was not enough. I needed to see for myself. And that's the way it is for all of us. We have to see and know for ourselves.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I mean, think about it. Think about this. You are in a position, you're in a so-called Moorish Science Temple of America. Is that safe to say? A so-called Moorish Science Temple of America. And in this, but you don't know it's so-called. You're in the Moorish Science Temple of America, as far as you know. Mm-hmm. And here the head of the Moorish Science Temple of America is a manifested person that you walk by every time you go to the meeting. Mm-hmm. And he's saying, I am Prophet Noble Juali. Mm-hmm. You're talking to him, you're touching him. And he's saying, I'm Prophet Noble Juali, right?
Yes.
Now what's strange, well, it's not strange, but just look how Allah works. He is one that says it's standing right in front of you, and he is one that you never met physically. Mm-hmm. And you choose the one that you never met physically. That's right. So you see, the prophet is always here in spirit.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
See, you meet him in spirit on a daily basis. Each time you imitate him, don't you know you're rewarded?
Come on now.
With your consistency in it. Don't you know the understanding is bestowed upon you when you are consistently imitating a divine thought?
Come on now.
Why? Because you are performing a divine act.
Praise the Lord. Mm-hmm. Praise
Each time you persevere, perseverance is another name for Allah. What you're doing is you are allowing yourself to perform a divine act. Come on.
So, can we imitate discernment? Like,
Yeah. No, quit. You should.
Yeah.
Discernment is very important.
Mm-hmm.
That helps you to make your what? Choice. That helps you with your choice. It's very important. But you and it's so important that you have to be careful how you discern. You know? Because it can go both ways.
Islam also can being able to distinguish truth from falsehood also lets you know how much you are tapped in, your spirit's tapped into Allah, the Allah within.
Yeah.
Because then you could distinguish truth from falsehood, like the sister was saying, and know the words that the prophet has brought to us is the truth.
Yeah.
And like something she said, I went through a similar thing, but something I remember back in the day when I came, Brother Loveville said, give it a try.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just try to imitate and see what the results will be.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And it was up to me
Yeah.
to be willing to let go of some things
Yeah.
and try something different
Yeah.
and try what the prophet say do
Yeah.
and find out what the results, and if the results were favorable
Yeah.
and felt right within
Yeah.
as well as out,
Yeah.
because the results gonna come within and out.
Yeah.
Because they the good results, they the positive results, they Allah's results, they the prophet has brought to me.
Yeah.
Then okay, that worked. Let me go a little bit further.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna rush it all at one time
Right.
because it's gonna overwhelm me.
Right.
But a little bit at a time. It's just like me now going back to the gym, doing a little bit at a time,
Right.
and I get stronger and
Right.
stronger. And over the years, I done got stronger. I know I'm not there yet,
Right.
but I'm stronger than I was back then.
Right.
You know, so it just lets me know I'm tapping more into Allah and knowing what the prophet is a prophet.
Right. 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 So, and that's another name for what? When we're doing all this that we're talking about doing, what are we doing? Yes, we are, but we're doing something. What are we doing with that? What is the effort called?
Will.
Yes, we're willing.
Consistency.
Yes, we are attempting to be. No, what we're doing.
So again.
What we're doing is working.
Right. Okay.
You're putting it to work.
Yes.
You are giving life to the work. You're working.
Putting in the work.
See, this is what when they say you got to put in the work. This is working. This working is when you are conscious of what you are doing. You become more effective the more consciousness you can be in, the more is revealed to you. Because you're conscious, in a conscious state, it helps you not to do what? Yield to what? That's right. It helps you, at least you put up some resistance so that you don't yield. Like this, like Rubber Bunch Bass say, eat a piece of candy, take the wrapper and throw it on the ground. But if you're practicing, what happens?
You put it in trash.
Yeah, your thoughts are different and the voice will tell you. Don't throw that on the ground.
That's right.
That ain't right. So what's that called? You're working.
And it's just a little thing, but it's the right thing.
More.
Exactly.
You know what? In his eyesight, there's no big or small.
That's right.
Right.
Any little, I gotta tell you, look, any effort to do anything,
That's right.
that's right.
That's right. That's right. No matter how big.
It don't matter. We don't even want to measure it.
Right, that's right.
What we're doing, we're just trying to do the right thing. Come on, baby.
We're
Because one thing we gotta keep in mind, to get to the things that we may be seeking, the
Yeah.
small things are the most important things.
Yes,
Because
yes,
that's getting on the path.
yes, yes,
We're
yes,
striving to get on the path.
yes, yes,
So that we can become more consistent and
Yes.
conscious in what we're doing.
yes,
And I think
yes,
Brother Bunn gave a great analysis.
yes,
As far as
yes,
the candy paper, because as insignificant as it may be,
yes,
just to think about not doing it.
yes,
And how often have I've done it.
yes,
Yeah, that's right.
And the thing I've learned is even in your even in being conscious, you will do it, but you should still feel something
yeah.
that makes you want to go back
Back and
and pick it up.
That's right.
Right.
That's right, that's right, that's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? You should feel something.
Yeah.
So that's part of the working of the progress. So
Yeah.
the next time you get that opportunity,
Yeah.
you may say, no, I'm not, I didn't like the way I felt. That's that gave me that unrest.
Yeah.
I did something
That's
wrong.
right, that's right, that's
So, I
right.
mean, next time I'm just gonna walk into the trash, or just
That's
put it,
right.
or put it in my car until I get to where I need to go.
That's right.
To expose us.
That's right, that's right, that's right. Now you see, you're beginning to know the prophet.
Yes.
Yes, great.
You're beginning to know what, because that sensing
There you go.
is what he would do.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to do what he would do. And if I err, what do? I make a speech of revelation. Because that's what I'm taught,
That's right.
you know? And if you can't, you ask for forgiveness that you don't do it again.
Exactly.
But that's what we're talking about. We say we are celebrating Prophet Noble Dwelly's birthday, but we take for granted that everybody that is in the celebration hall recognizes, or we're saying that those of us that's among us look at him as truly being a prophet. When they can be in the hall celebrating, and if you go in the hallway, you hear language that the prophet ain't talking like that.
Right, right.
The prophet ain't did that. He ain't said that. I know he ain't said that.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that type of conversation he does not even hold. See, that's another thing for us. When we get into certain conversations, you know that there are certain conversations he don't even hold.
That's right.
And so if he ain't holding them, why am I standing there listening to him?
That's real. That's real.
If I'm supposed to be imitating him, why am I even in my silence listening?
When your thoughts
In my
is
ear.
going in.
Yeah. Why am I listening when someone comes and talks about somebody that I know? And I'm supposed to be listening. I'm supposed to be imitating the prophet. Come on.
And boy, I was just thinking that we on the subject of imitating them. Funny it was, I used to come across certain malls that tried to imitate him physically.
Yeah.
I know you saw that too, more especially
Yeah.
journeying up Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
brother tried to dress like him.
Yeah.
Brother had his mustache cut
Yeah.
like him. One brother told me the prophet wear his hair like this.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself,
Yeah.
all the reflections I seen the prophet either had a turban, fez, or hat on.
Right.
I never saw his hair, so you could be telling me anything. I mean, the prophet could have his hair clean shaved.
Right. But you know what?
But what significance that have
That's my
that the
point.
prophet
That's the
wear his hair like this?
More. They talk about the prophet's shoes. They talk about the most insignificant stuff.
Has no saving.
None. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going back to when you was talking about the prophet's birthday celebration, right?
Yeah.
And I'm imitating the prophet. Prophet said attend all meetings,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm saying at the celebrations, you ain't attended a meeting all year long.
Yeah.
But you here at the prophet's birthday celebration talking about praise Allah and honor to the prophet.
Right.
You're not imitating the prophet.
Right. But see, that's where we gotta be careful.
Yes.
Because outwardly,
Mm-hmm.
it appears.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, whatever we see is a reflex.
Right.
So we may not be making the correct association with what we think we see.
Mm-hmm.
See, that way, because see, if we don't watch that, see, that's another trick of the lower self. The lower self will get you stating things that you think you see based on the thoughts that he wants you to see.
Mhm.
And you find yourself, you could put yourself in a position of judging wrong.
But we don't need
You
judge.
see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's we gotta be very careful. Now, outwardly, we know that there are individuals who we haven't seen present. But does that mean that they haven't been practicing?
That's right.
True.
That's right.
I mean, we gotta think about that.
Right.
Just because you don't see a person in the place does not necessarily mean that he's not practicing. Because you have to go back and you have to think about this. You are privileged to be in the place.
That's right.
This is a privilege that has been extended to you, and you have accepted it.
Praise God.
But even in that, a lot of us in here don't practice.
That's right.
So it's not the place that you find yourself in,
It's the act.
it's the act. That's it.
But if you bring law by, if you.
Now, that's another thing.
The law, right.
That's another thing.
That's
Now,
right.
but you may have to grow into being a law abiding.
Okay.
See, some people, for whatever the reasons are, they can't come in here yet. Prophet say, I'm not gonna wake them all up at once.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
They may not see the significance yet of coming, but that doesn't mean they don't see the significance of trying to live a good life. They need guidance.
Praise the Lord.
You know, Mo, I got a close friend that I grew up with. He
Yeah,
has his nationality card in his face,
yeah,
but he doesn't attend a lot of meetings.
right,
But he works with homeless people.
yes,
And every time I call him, he said, brother, I'm at work.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know, so the work he does with homeless people,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I guess a lot sees that.
Look, just because we all are passing through the ways of life, this may not be a way of life for everybody at this time.
Right.
They may not pass this way at this time. It may not be meant for them to pass this way.
Right.
But that doesn't mean because they're not passing this way that they're not doing good.
Right.
Well, how can they not be doing good at some point? Because good is their power.
Mm-hmm.
So we pass through the ways of life. We've been blessed. This is our time. We're here. Presently, we're here. We've been blessed. This is our time. But we have to remember that there are many out there who haven't been awakened to this part of it yet.
True.
Come on.
It's all right, she can, maybe think, me talking about, law abiders.
Yeah,
12 of our 14 laws
yeah,
talking about what members should be doing.
yeah,
You know, only one of them talking about making their meetings.
yeah,
But there's 11 others that talk about what we should be doing as members.
yeah,
So, you know, we're not all there yet.
right,
We're not all gonna be there
right,
to all our
right.
points to be there.
Well, everybody, and you can look at it like this too, babe. You know, everybody's not a member.
That's right.
We got it's a lot of non-members. See, I'm bringing this to your attention because as you put forth your efforts to climb, things are different. The higher you go, it's not like it was when you was there. I'm not thinking the same way now. That means the things that I'm addressing at this point in my development is different from that. I don't see it like that anymore. And we got to remain open because if we don't, we'll get stuck in the old way of thinking and be earthbound. You got to climb with this. If you're trying to see, yeah.
And the one thing I think about when it comes to the law, is all good morals.
Yes, yes,
So you speak about good morals.
yeah, yeah,
See, we might want to strive before we start talking about the law. We might want to strive to become a good moral.
yeah,
See, because if you don't accept the law,
yeah,
if you don't strive, you don't see the importance of it.
yeah,
And see, I'm learning this. A a law is important as long as you are carrying it out.
Yeah.
But if you're not carrying it out, it's just words on paper.
Yeah, yeah, Mark. Yeah. You got to, but see, babe, you got it just like everything else. You must know the law.
Yes. Yes.
And if you're not being the law, how can you know the law? You know of the law, but you don't know the law unless you are being the law.
And the prophet said, law was lit.
Yes, that's right. And what does it do when you imitate it? It lives in you.
Yes.
The imitator of it. Because he is the law.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, but sometimes I learned is that we speak about the law
Yeah,
as long as the law ain't put on us.
yeah,
See, the law don't change.
yeah,
Whether it's the law.
yeah,
Now the question is, when we are under the law,
yeah.
and we have to be held accountable, do we still accept it as being the law?
Well,
Or do we try to find a way to connive
right,
the law to
right,
justify us not being able to be accepted by it?
right.
That's just something I think.
Yeah, that's a good thought. But you like to think about, here's something else that if you care to, you can add with that, you know. When we question the law, when it befalls us,
Mm-hmm.
it's because we don't know the law.
I hear you. Come on.
That's the only one that questions the law when it hits them.
Mm.
The one that don't know
Mm.
The law, well, the one that has not accepted.
it. It has not accepted it.
They accept pieces of it when it's good.
When it's good for them.
Yeah.
Beneficial.
But now when it comes to have to extract justice, now it's a little different. So you don't know it. Because if you know the law, you know that you're going to reap what you sow. That's the law.
Come on.
Divine law, not
No,
man-made.
that's right.
Not man-made.
No, that's not man-made law.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, man.
No, I'm done.
Yeah. But so, see, the whole discussion is revolving around knowing.
Yes.
See, you can't rely on people.
Come on. Listen.
And I often try to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this as often as I possibly can. You don't rely on a person just because they're in the office to always tell you what you need to know.
That's right.
Live it for yourself, then you'll know what to do.
Come on.
And then, if you know, then you may have to stand up to give an accounting of what you know. Because everybody that may be in the position may not necessarily know what you know. They may not know the law to the extent that you know the law. Suppose a person that's in office, they are not as consistent in their practice as you are.
Exactly.
Come on. Listen.
You got to remember, we're dealing with man. And man is what? Truth and falsehood, strangely mixed.
And he got to go through his own trials and tribulations.
That's right. But you look for one who is identified as an imitator.
Mm.
Look for the imitator. The imitator of who?
Right.
You can recognize that. You can recognize that. If you're not imitating the prophet, then you know there's a little question about those behavior patterns that I see displayed from time. That's the only way you're going to grow in this movement.
Come on.
That's the only way you're going to grow in this movement. And this movement, and let me tell you something, all the medallions and all those other little trinkets that you may get does not promote you to an elevated state.
That's right. Listen.
You're just a person with trinkets if you're not living it the proper way. You want to help the movement be real. Know the founder. If you know the founder, then you'll know your place. and you make your contribution to the program. And as you grow and unfold, your perception of Almighty God unfolds. And all of a sudden, you start seeing what has been there, but you never saw before.
Program grows.
And then when you start getting there, you better be ready because they're going to talk about you. It ain't going to change. It ain't going to be all over. It's not going to become all sweet and lovely. And all, no. That is just almost like, that's like the beginning of you really being tested.
Come on.
How strong?
It's when we talk about the laws, are we talking about like even including the laws of Moses?
We're talking about the law. Ain't but one.
The law.
Ain't but one law. Now, you can attribute it to certain people because at the time they gave the portion that they were required to give. So they say that's the law of Moses. Well, during the time of Moses, that was the law of Moses. But now, you got the divine law of the Morris Science Temple of America. Same law, but it's applicable for where we are today. The law don't change because it's truth. Truth don't change.
Right.
So the laws of Moses, the law, the Magian law, all that law is the same law you got today. It's the same law that does what? Govern all events.
This is a new era of time.
That's right. And adjustments have to be made, not with that, but how it is given out.
Mm-hmm.
See, the way that it's made available to us now is the only thing that has changed. Because the truth and it is the same. But I couldn't very well identify with it if I'm trying to live according to it 500, 600, 1,000 years ago.
Right.
Because he told you, this is a new era of time now.
That's right. That's right.
The age is what? Electrified.
Yeah.
So it has to be given to me where I can identify with what's going on today. There ain't nothing wrong with the law. Ain't nothing wrong with the law, but I got to use it for how I can use it today because that helps me to see it.
So now the prophet say he can do what Jesus did.
Yeah, but you're not in the condition that the people was in.
Right.
So I ain't got to walk in here with no line on no chain.
And also the prophet let us know that the third and fourth generation
Yeah,
will see the best of
yeah. See, yeah.
Good.
Good, that's right.
And he came for the unborn generation.
That's right. That's right. But a lawman is a lawman.
That's right.
He's a lawman. He's a man that has submitted to the law. A lawman ain't no mufti. Don't just call people what they not. They're representatives. They represent the law. And if they are a lawman, you know it. Sometimes we attribute these titles to people that is undeserving. It becomes more of a fashion statement. It has no meaning because you haven't earned it. When you earn it, you don't be, you know what? You don't talk about it. Person sees you, they see you in silence and they recognize who you are.
Your actions.
It's reflected. That's one thing you can be assured of. A person that is who they're supposed to be ain't gonna walk around talking about it. Trying to impress other people to acknowledge them based on the status that they think that they have attained. It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
And when it's all said and done, what's the appointment of Allah?
That's more. That's who has allowed you the opportunity to even be acknowledged as that. So I'm reading and I'm trying to show you, like, get out the mysticism. Let's get into the realness. We're dealing with each other. We're human beings on earth, encased in flesh. Have a higher self and lower self. And let's deal with ourselves like that. But there are those who are trying to do what? Live the life accordingly. And there is a difference. There is a difference from one who is pretending to be something that they're not. But it's not my call. But I can identify them by their words, acts, and deeds. I ain't got to say that's how he is or that's how she is. I ain't got to tell nobody, you know, they really fake it. I ain't got to do none of that. Because if I'm applying the law, I don't do that. I see it. And when I see that trouble, I go the other way.
It's God too, Brother Crash. It takes work. It's not easy.
Right.
To try to learn how to love.
That's right. That's right.
It takes work, bro.
That's right.
That's not easy because what was put in us.
That's
the
right.
hatred that was put in us for each other.
That's right.
That's what the prophet is trying to extract out of it.
That's right.
It's a task. It's a work in progress.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Come on, man. I mean, again.
Like you said, going back to what you were saying earlier, as far as how would you imitate the prophet?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Don't take the prophet for granted.
Yes.
You know? And that's what helped me along the way, you know. I'm still practicing.
Yeah.
I know, like you said,
Yeah.
the more better you get in this movement.
Yeah.
Look like the tasks get more
challenging.
Hard, you know,
yeah.
Hard to work.
Yeah,
That's my job.
Yeah.
The more you practice and the more you get better into what we do, the more tasks get more difficult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody like they're trying to test you and get at you and everybody at you. So you just gotta stay humble, like the brother said. And do the best you can.
Just be real. You can't do it, you can't do it.
That's right.
You know, go and ask Allah to give you the strength to be able to do it. Don't fool yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go to the Holy Koran. We're going to chapter 17. Jesus appears fully materialized before Apollo and the Silent Brotherhood in Greece. Appears to Claudius and Juliet on Tiber near Rome. Appears to the priests in the Egyptian temple of Heliopolis. Apollo with the Silent Brotherhood of Greece was sitting in the Delphian grove. The oracle had spoken loud and long. The priests were in the sanctuary, and as they looked, the oracle became a blaze of light. It seemed to be on fire and all consumed. The priests were filled with fear. They said, a great disaster is to come. Our gods are mad. They have destroyed our oracle. But when the flames had spent themselves, a man stood on the oracle pedestal and said, Allah speaks to man not by an oracle of wood and gold, but by the voice of man. That's important. What's important about that? It is by what that Allah speaks to man? By the voice. That means you have to be able to do what? Hear the voice. And the prophet explicitly states, my sheep know what? The sound of my voice. And a stranger what? Will not follow. Remember that. He's telling us that for a reason. A stranger will not follow. The stranger can make their words and what? The semblance of truth. But the business of their life is what? Only to deceive. We don't get caught up in the talk. You'll know the sound when you hear it if you're doing what? Right. Because you're in tune. When you practice, you're in tune. And then when you're in tune, you hear it. Because there is a rhythm to it. vibrations are associated with it. You will be able to pick it up. Oh, I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. So he's given us these things to help us as we are going through the ways of life, because we're going to come in contact with many other beings. And those beings are there to lead us astray by whispering certain things in our ear. And if we get to listening to those certain things that they whisper, the current of our thoughts change. When the current of your thought change, you get off the path.
That's right.
And the longer you indulge in the conversation, the longer you're off the path. Now, you have totally disregarded the fact that the prophet told you, don't get caught up in the illusion, because what? You may die. He's telling us these things for a reason. But we're going to have to pick it up.
Yeah, he said we better take heed.
You better. You better. Now we start to fit in the other pieces of the puzzle, just like you just did. That's also a piece to the puzzle. What puzzle?
Puzzle life.
What puzzle? What puzzle? Okay, but what puzzle? Life's puzzle. It's life's puzzle. We all have pieces to the puzzle. Anyway, it says the gods have spoken to the Greeks in kindred tongues through image made by man. But Allah the One now speaks to man through Jesus, the only Son, who was and is and evermore will be. This oracle will fail. If it fails, it's what?
False.
It's false. This oracle will fail. The living oracle of Allah, the One, will not fail. Apollo knew the man who spoke. He knew it was the Nazarene who once had taught the wise men in the Acropolis and had rebuked the idol worshippers upon the Athenian beach. And in a moment, Jesus stood before Apollo and the silent brotherhood and said, "Behold, for I have risen from the dead with gifts for men. I bring to you the title of your vast estate. All power in heaven and earth is mine. To you I give all power in heaven and earth. Go forth and teach the nations of the earth the gospel of the resurrection of the dead and eternal life through Jesus, the love of Allah made manifest to men." And then he clasped Apollo's hand and said, "My human flesh was changed to higher form by love divine, and I can manifest in flesh or in the higher planes of life at will. What I have done, all men can do. Go teach the gospel of the omnipotence of men." Then Jesus disappeared. But Greece and Crete and all the nations heard. Claudius and Juliet, his wife, lived on the Palatine in Rome. And they were servants of Tiberius. But they had been in Galilee, had walked with Jesus by the sea, had heard his words and seen his power, and they believed that he was Jesus made manifest. Now Claudius and his wife were on the Tiber in a little boat. A storm swept from the sea, and the boat was wrecked, and Claudius and his wife were sinking down to death. And Jesus came and took them by the hands and said, "Claudius and Juliet, arise and walk with me upon the waves." And they rose and walked with him upon the waves. 1,000 people saw 3 walk on the waves and saw them reach the land, and they were all amazed. All right, you heard that. Now look, go back to something. Apollo was in the place where the oracle was speaking, right? And they were listening to what the oracle had said, right? Now, this was the Silent Brotherhood, right? Yet, the Silent Brotherhood was listening to an image made by man. Remember, we talked about degrees. Now, prior to this, Jesus had addressed the Silent Brotherhood because he had not fulfilled his task. He had not resurrected. Now, in the resurrection, he returns to bring them up to a higher degree. And he explained to them that Allah does not speak to man by wood and gold, but by the voice of man. Don't you think this took them up to another level?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was just thinking when you said that he said he came back with gifts.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm thinking about the gifts of the understanding.
That's right. That's more. Before his coming, or before his proving the possibilities of man, remember what it said in the earlier chapters? Men comprehend by what they see, but no, they said something else. And he was talking about carnal man. Carnal man judges things by what?
Sure.
Getting there, but there's something in there that talks about what they see.
What they see.
And then of the darkness.
Yeah, that's a part of it, but it's another. Why don't you just go to somebody go to chapter 2? I think it's chapter 2. Chapter 1. Because what I'm trying to get you to understand, or what I'm trying to share with you is there was a period in man's development where he only recognized what he saw.
In the light.
He only recognized what he saw. Jesus came to take us out of the darkness. And that wasn't just people, just uneducated people. That was educated people too.
Exactly.
Come on, here.
That's right, but
Yes, sir.
And you're on the point because prior to Jesus doing what he did,
Yeah.
their highest development was what they had come up with.
Yes.
Yes, many of them were on the path. Let's just say.
Yes.
Conversation.
Yes.
And they were holy men.
Yes.
But it wasn't their task to advance until he completed what he had to do.
That's right. That's right.
See,
That's right. That's right.
Even in the chapter, or even in one of the early chapters, as you're making reference, he said little will recognize the works of Puritan love.
Yes.
See, up to that point, they believed they had not developed enough.
Right.
Spiritually.
Right.
But we also wrote in this statement when we said the witnesses, the statement of he says, wisdom speaks from out of the highest plane of spirit life.
Right. He. No, this ain't it. Men cannot comprehend things that their eyes see not. Yeah, but anyway, remember, we are in the early stages of man's development.
Mm-hmm.
This great act had not been performed yet.
Exactly.
Now Jesus performed it, then he came back and he shared what he had experienced to those who were seekers after the light.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just to add this part to it, remember, prophecies have been made.
Yes, that's right.
But
until they had actually
That's right.
been manifested
That's
to the sons of men,
That's right.
that they could actually see.
That's right.
They were just prophecies
Yes.
and and wise, what they used to call wise tales.
Yes. Yes.
But those who believed were waiting.
Yes.
But remember that vacant
Yes.
chair
Yes.
was,
Yes.
was put there for a purpose.
Yes.
And no one could sit in that chair
That's right. That's right.
until they were the one.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So there were things that many of them believed, but they were not able to actually comprehend it to that point until
Right.
it manifested to them.
Right.
It had to be proven.
It had to be proven.
It
Yeah,
had to be
proven.
shown.
Yeah.
You just read it or mentioned it that men comprehend the inner life by what they see and do. And up to that point, that's the only what they had
Yeah.
to go by.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Brother, I got a question.
Yeah.
Would it be safe to say this is a new beginning?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, once he did what
Because
he
he
did.
told them afterwards,
Yeah.
once he showed
Yeah.
what he did,
Yeah.
he said, go forth and teach the gospel.
Yeah. 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 Well, look what they would look what was there, which he had to come to dispel.
Right.
Exactly.
So that means that was a certain a thought that was there that people were revolving around.
Right.
So now you go and you prove a point. Now you come back once that point has been proven, and now you give them further light.
That's right.
Right.
You give them further light because if they had gotten to a point where this is all the light that they had, but now when Jesus came back, he gave them another way of looking at things.
Right.
No more than the prophet had done for us when we apply ourselves.
Right.
That's why imitating him shows us another way of life. Because when you imitate the prophet, it's different than what we were taught.
Exactly.
Right.
Because we were taught under the fallacy of earthly salvation.
Right.
The prophet didn't put that in there because it's a mistake.
Exactly.
He put in there to let us know it was reversed. This is a holy and divine movement.
Yes.
And he tells us, seek ye first, what to seek first.
Yes.
Then he lets us know, what the rulers and the rich did.
Right.
And he let us know about the rulers and the rich and what we learned from that doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Come on here.
That's wrong. And just to add to this point, when we're studying the life of Jesus,
Yes. Yes.
those things were so important for the development of mankind.
Yes.
Even beyond this plane of life. Because what he also did, and you all have read it many times, when he arose, remember, he went and freed the captive souls as well. They were stuck there until he came to free them. Because remember, he said he conquered death.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was one of the key things that kept men captive. And so he had to go even to the plane of soul and free the captive soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they couldn't go beyond that
Yeah.
point.
They couldn't get right.
They had not been, that had not been revealed to them.
No, it haven't. No, it haven't. And that's I believe the accuracy of looking at it in that way is correct. Because, it's just like now. Because of what he did then, enables us to understand some of it now.
Exactly.
Now we're talking about someone who overcame death and explained it in a way that we can understand. Had overcome death because prior to that, had nobody did it.
He was the first of the human
The
race.
first.
And we were stuck.
And we were
Man
stuck.
was stuck.
That he was stuck. And look, then we end up being like Barala Rabo. They told us so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anything that we were going on was based on what was told to us.
Yes.
So what he did is
blessed us, but what the prophet has done for us has truly blessed.
It is. 10 times 4.
It's the beginning of us being free.
Yeah, man.
But that's what it is.
Yeah,
It's the beginning.
yeah,
Because up until then, like you say, we were captivated.
yeah, man.
But once they passed the word on that man cannot die,
Yeah,
it was a different way of looking at things.
yeah, yeah,
And the fear of it,
yeah,
the fear of death, robbed us worse than the event itself.
yeah.
You know, we did a lot of things to try to prevent.
From down.
And we saw that at that museum
Yeah,
when we went to how they did it,
yeah, yeah,
you know? I mean, I never forgot it, to see how they tried to carry everything with them
yeah.
because of the way they saw it.
Well, it's all. Yeah,
Can I just add one
yeah.
sure.
Sure.
And we gotta remember this too, and it's just like being here. Even after Jesus did all of that,
Yeah,
it wasn't accepted by everybody.
that's right. That's right.
It was not accepted. And even to this day.
That's right.
Still not.
That's right.
Remember, they paid the Roman soldiers to be quiet
Yeah,
because all our testimony will be proven false.
yeah.
So they wanted to hold on to it as long as they could and keep it under wraps
Right. Right.
so that the masses would not be able to develop as quickly as they should.
Right.
It was still about the rulers and the
Right.
rich.
Right. Right.
And that's the same thing today. The truth is still being suppressed.
That's right.
And as long as they can put that thought out, and that's the same way they got us by calling us Negro, Black, and Colored.
Right.
And remember, they did this in 1774, which was an act of psychology.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's call them this, and then keep calling them that. And then we'll get them in slavery, physically in slavery, and we'll keep calling them that some more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And here, look. And you better not teach them to read.
Exactly. And don't let them start praying or practicing
no,
over religion
No.
other than what we say.
You see anybody down there praying different, you let us know.
We weren't supposed to think they way.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yes, sir.
and I just wanted to point out the same way that Jesus moved the people out of the captured barn.
Yeah.
On the plane of soul, any such as Prophet Noble Ali moving us forward
That's right.
out of the mental slavery
That's
that we
right.
had started.
Praise the Lord. That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's good. You know, that's really good.
Praise the Lord.
Good insight. That's good. Praise the Lord. Peace.
Praise God. Thank you.
Okay.
This one more. I'd like to thank Grand Chief, who is the moderator of the Moore Science Club, for his instructions, for his leadership here at Temple 71 and around the nation. Praise the Lord for him. Praise the Lord for all your participation here at Sunday School. Now I'd like to call the Assistant Grand Governors here at Temple 71, who is also Secretary here at Temple 71, Sister D. John Bay, to read the proclamation. Can we cease all movement and give her your undivided attention?
Islam.
Islam.
I give praise to Allah and honor to His holy prophet, Noble True Ali, and honor to this our Sunday school and Koran class. The prophet warns all Muslims, governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, and freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card, button, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Peace.
Peace.
Islam.
Islam.
This portion of me is dedicated to our passing of our collective fast. There are two fast plans, public collection and the more subject. Also, we'll open up the floor for announcements. Are there any announcements?
Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen.